Today's guest is Austin Parker. On our website, he's listed as treasurer and financial advisor. In the world, he's a branch manager at Southern Bank. Met him at ECU in the MBA program, and over about the last year, he's been helping us here at Scarlet Oak Farms. Animal lover, and today you get to hear why he does what he does and how he enjoys Scarlet Oak Farms. Without further ado, Austin Parker. Thank you.
Action. Did you not hear the big old trailer come through?
That was perfect. All right. So, well, his first question was coffee.
What are you drinking?
Yeah. So,
I didn't know if you had like a little concoction you make every morning.
no. So, thankfully, you came out. We were going to work out. We were going to clean up. But I didn't expect you to actually help start cleaning up right off the bat. So, you caught me in mid-morning concoction. That's my 3 coffee right off the bat. Feet hit the ground.
Jar.
Yeah, feet hit the ground, and the first thing that I do is grab my coffee. So I had to bring it in with me. Actually, you caught me. Had told Jordan you were coming over that morning, and you were like, "All right, I'm headed on the way." And I was like, "Shit, yeah, let me grab my coffee." So I ran over there with the coffee, made sure that I can't forget my juice, man. That's how it gets me going.
Well, you need that amount of coffee to deal with all the dogs that you'll have.
You're not gonna mention Jordan?
Absolutely. No.
To deal with Jordan.
Yeah. No, I've always, as long as I started drinking coffee in like 1920, and once you start...
In 1920?
when I was 19 or 20.
Oh, I thought you meant like in
No.
1920, and I was
I
like,
thought the
same thing. Jeez,
you
Lord.
weren't born then.
No. So, yeah, but I usually do, funny you ask, I usually do the morning cleanings now. Jordan does the nighttime stuff, except for over the past week, we've got, because of the little, what'd you call them, tiffs?
Yeah.
Had a little tiff the other day. I guess that's what a dog fight is for her, but we had a tiff the other day, and because they've been getting medicines and all that kind of stuff, she's been doing that. She's great at remembering that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have remembered who gets what, how they get it, why she split it the way she did. So over the last 3 or 4 days,
Yeah.
she's actually been doing both night and morning check-ins on the dogs, feedings, all that kind of stuff. But no, I usually this is my usually normal routine.
So y'all feed them twice a day?
Yeah, feed them
a day.
twice.
How in the world do y'all keep up with who gets what, portion size? I mean, do y'all have like a board that y'all keep to kind of remind not only yourselves, but maybe volunteers that come in?
We have a board. I think that's more for the volunteers, but it's crazy. It's like a pattern. I mean, you do it over and over and over again, and you learn the dogs like they're people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much like they're like your kid. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't forget that your kid has to take medicine, or that your kid has to have
Allergic to peanuts.
Yeah, certain
a
diet. So it really isn't. I know we get asked the question a lot of like, how do you remember which dog is which? But it's like a child or like a friend to you. You know who they are. You know their names, their characteristics, and what they can and can't eat.
It's almost like having twins. You know immediately how to tell them
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah. You know what.
Distinct features of them.
Talk different. I mean, I don't even mix up in terms of visually. They super distinct to me. Like even driving from the road, I can see one of them laying down, and I'm like, oh, Charlotte's laying down, and I mean that's 200 yards away. And I'm driving 60 miles an hour, so that stuff, what they eat, the way they act, their personalities,
I think
all that stuff.
The
is
first thing I noticed when I walked in that morning was all of the pictures of each dog up there. That really helps, and that kind of a good way to almost bring it as their home.
Yeah.
I
mean,
we're kind of the idea is like really creating a space for them, like like a house for them.
Because that's essentially what you're doing. I mean, when you come to Scarlet Oak Farms, it is their home.
Yeah.
And you know, if that's what you want volunteers to be aware of. So It's a cool atmosphere when you walk in. I think it's definitely a homey feeling for them, and not and only volunteers too.
I think you get used to when I'm not touching any. When we started this, it was common. I think we started joking about it, but really it's true. I can't remember how I phrased it, but you get used to crazy. Like,
Crazy.
anything you're involved in with a long period of time becomes that person's new normal.
Right.
The new now crazy is the new normal. Yeah, and that's, I think, with anybody. A kid who's been beaten his entire life. I hate to say that, but that's normal to them.
Mm-hmm.
This is our normal. So, the feedings over and over again, bringing in a new dog and having to learn the way it looks and its personalities. It doesn't take long for me to do that. I'm sure it doesn't take long for Jordan to do that. Ironically, you're looking at the feeding right now. We both have our own style, I think, of how we treat the dogs, how we adapt with the dogs, how we love on the dogs, even down to the way we feed the dogs. Jordan was watching one of the videos that I was doing, and as she was watching, I saw her grinning, and right off the bat, knowing Jordan, I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? Like, clearly I'm not doing it the right way or something. She's like, no, you feed them differently than I do. And I wouldn't have thought that even that, she has her own way of doing it. I have my own way of doing it. And it just becomes the new normal.
Yeah. And I mean, when you care about them as much as y'all do, you do whatever. No matter if it's
for sure
taking hours out of your day. I mean, you just do it. You just have to do it.
Yeah. It's not really a question.
No, exactly. When you pour your heart and soul into
Yeah.
an organization like this, you just do what you got to do.
I think, speaking of the kennel in here that they're showing, some people have asked, like, how do we feed the dogs?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the indoor dogs,
Duke.
we've never had Dukey's loving on you. The indoor dogs, I don't think we've really had too many issues with fights, except for when we had Marla.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Marla was more of an aggressive eater,
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of caused tiffs. But in the doghouse, there does seem to be more, because of that freedom and that ability to roam and kind of be on top of each other. That's the only time I feel like we have to split them up and let them eat in different areas specifically.
But wait, you have 2 male dogs.
I do, yeah.
So do they get in fights? Or do they do you feel like you have to feed them separately, or?
We keep them spaced out when they do eat. I mean, initially when we brought our second dog, who's a black lab, his name is Olsen, it was, you're bringing a new dog into an old dog's territory.
Uh-huh.
So you'll always have that initial tiff, as you say, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
It gets better with time, as y'all know, but you're always still on edge when it comes to food. It's just an innate behavior in dogs of
They're
protecting,
animals.
protecting their food. But it does get better with time, and as time has progressed in our home, we've moved their bowls a little bit closer. So
Yeah, I think it gets better with time, but still, all dogs have their own personality.
yes,
And some are just, no matter how long we have Lady, she is just not the mailman, but the trash man comes every Friday morning, and he throws treats out to the dogs. And just watching, you wouldn't think a 90-pound dog would move as fast as she does, but when there's food involved, and if you're invading her space, she's just very protective and more aggressive in those scenarios.
I think y'all do a good job of respecting it in the dogs, because there's some people who will try and force it, and it just doesn't work out. You have to respect the dog's personal space too.
Well, I think that's also come with time. I mean, there were a couple times, we started this because of Scarlet. Scarlet was like the child. Jordan loved on Scarlet. Personal space in Scarlet wasn't a very common thing with Jordan. But I think where we learned that was in the beginning, when we brought in other dogs, we made the assumption that all the other dogs that we brought in would react to Jordan's behaviors the same way, and that's not the case. You have to kind of learn their personality, and some may like you, some may not. but you have to, like you said, you have to respect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just personality and like closeness, but food personalities, other dog personality, how they interact with other dogs. They all are different.
Was this your first time cleaning?
It was, and I was going to ask y'all, have you seen, and it seems like the case to me, over time, it's less and less cleanup every morning because they're used to going outside through the doggy door.
Yeah.
And
The dog door definitely helped. I mean, so initially, before we got the AC and heater installed, we left that back door open so they could just run right through. Well, as the temperatures increased, we needed to get the AC installed. But adding the dog door, I feel like, I don't know, by closing in the environment, I guess made them feel more as if they were in like a home environment and less that they wanted to, use the bathroom in their space that they actually sleep and lay down in bed in. So, I definitely, you can see when it rains that they don't like to go out as much, and especially if it's storming, then you'll have more cleanup to do. But yeah, you're right, I can definitely tell. And especially, so we mop twice a day, so once in the morning, once at night, and usually on average now, by the time we get to the afternoon mopping, there is no real pee or poop that you have to mop up. It's just like the general like hair and dirt and stuff. You got to get up.
Most of the time, I still feel, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lainey, especially because of her eyes, I feel like she takes advantage of being inside, and if she wants to, she'll pee and poop.
Yeah.
That's still not a lot. And then after they eat, more like a marking their territory type thing sometimes.
Yeah, the boys will do a little spray.
Yeah. But other than that, no, even when I go in overnight, after the night, there might be one or two piles of pee or poop. And so you probably noticed that as well. That's your first time. That's not your first time helping us clean up around here. So let me ask you, what's your interest with poop?
For those who don't know, I do come around the Scarlet Oak and clean up the poop in the yard and inside. Nobody wants to do it, so I figured I'd be the one to take the initiative and pick it up.
You're a good man, Austin. You're a good man.
No, but I mean, it's not much at all inside anymore, like I said, but just to kind of help out. So
yeah, I know
much appreciated.
Yeah, when you first came around, you did it with the bucket, and then even out there, the first time cleaning out there, as I'm handing him the bags and thinking like, oh, he's getting ready to pick up poop, and I'm just like, he is just a magnet to crap. Like every time he comes out here, it's like an immediate
he's a
thing.
good man, Corey.
I'm used to doing it. Even when we first got our first dog, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. But do y'all have a fenced-in area for yours?
We do, for the most part, on the side of our house.
Okay.
Is not fenced in, but I think coming out here, it makes me want to fence in the rest of my yard.
Yeah,
even not fenced. What stinks too about you city folk is even if you had a non-fenced in and wanted to do like a underground fence, or they've even got, I think, like the 100-meter wireless things, because we looked at that almost. Not even the
electric
underground
fence.
Yeah, like you could plug it in and it'll do like a circle barrier, but that doesn't protect it from other dogs coming into your yard and that kind of stuff. Because when we had I think it was just Scarlet and Marla at the time, we had thought about trying to do like 100-meter barrier, but we mapped out and it wouldn't hit the pond. And at that time, Marla was still getting in the pond, playing around and wanting to run. Well, then she got out and ran away for about a week.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was like, no, we need to fence in the whole thing. And at that time we were bringing in Charlie, so we just did the whole 6 acres on this side. But yeah, I know another thing that comes up, which is kind of what you're talking about, remembering what to feed them, all that kind of stuff. Thankfully, because of Pet Supplies Plus, plug here, we have so much food coming in. We have a trash can that we use, and we try to, in a schedule, make sure that they're eating the same type of food so it doesn't mess their stomach up. And then we slowly, several people have asked, like, oh, what do you do with their stomachs and their diets, and doesn't that mess them up? We do it in such kind of like a slow process to mix them up with new food, so that way it doesn't mess their stomach up. We try not to do, I mean, maybe on a random rare occasion.
Look at all that food right there.
Yeah, I think I've brought them biscuits one time, but other than that, it's just, we want them to be comfortable out there. We give them the dog food. Enough people donate dog treats, so they're not going hungry.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, Pet Supplies Plus has been good to us.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
So do you have a dog out there that you gravitate more towards?
Probably Duke, as he came up just earlier.
Yeah, little Duke man.
Just the old soul in him. I'm an old soul myself, even though being only 25, I don't know why the first day he came up, Scarlet Oak, I just gravitated towards him.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love them all, but
Yeah,
you have that one that you just,
Yep.
you feel for,
Connect,
so
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, connect with.
I would say Duke, man.
Let's flip the question. What about you?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Now, is it fair? Would it be fair to say on this side and that side, or would it make it difficult if I just said overall?
That's how I took it. Overall, I would
Yeah.
say Duke, man, for me.
I'd have to break them apart because I
figured.
I treat them so different. But
Mabel on this side.
yeah, Mabel, 100% on this side. Mabel is terrified of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that I had to carry when we first got her. She wouldn't walk through the threshold by herself. I had to carry her in every time she wanted to come in and out. So definitely Mabel for me over here. And then I don't know, for the doghouse side, I think. Was that fast?
I know.
I think. Forrest or JoJo or Charlotte. Forrest, because he's old.
Yeah,
The
old
old
soul.
He truly is the one dog we have here that I swear to you looks at me in the eyes, and it's like you can see him saying like thank you, like thank you for taking me. So definitely Forrest in that respect. JoJo, kind of same thing, but I feel like JoJo needs me, which I need that. I need her to need me. So, and then Charlotte reminds me so much of Scarlet. Just the way she looks, the way she acts, her personality, her overall just living demeanor.
So much so that she's asked several times, should we bring Charlotte over here? I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
No.
It's not how it works.
What would you say for you, Corey?
Um,
Now,
I
would you
don't-
have to divide it to pick one on each?
Given the opportunity, yeah. I think overall for me it would be Charlie. If I split it over there, it would be probably a mix-up between Daisy and Willie. Just for some reason, I think we got Daisy, and I just gravitated to her quickly. I love her colors. I love the way she mixes, and so I just kind of spent more time with her. Willie, same thing. When I walk in, I feel like it's more like he'll jump on me, and it's almost like one of those I need you looks. What not a lot of people know, though, is, just because we're still fairly new and not all the dogs have been brought up, there's something on the farm that the ones that I gravitate to don't stay long for us. Marla we lost early. When we first started Scarlet Oak Farms, and that was a big loss for me. Her and I gravitated well. I spent a week and a half, or about a week, looking for her when we lost her, and then she randomly popped back into our lives and melted our hearts again. And then when we got her back, strangely enough, it was almost like she gave us that look. She used to wander up and down, would constantly be running.
To get the dogs something.
Always going in the water. As soon as we got her back, she would go to the bathroom, run back inside. It was almost like she knew, like, I screwed up. I'm not going to make that mistake again.
We were talking about cleaning. What did y'all do that day? Y'all cleaned and then...
Yeah, we pretty much cleaned, did a little workout, and then we pretty much went into the dog pen and cut the grass.
Okay.
and that's kind of when came out, had some pictures taken of the dogs.
Oh yeah. What so was it what you expected, like our organization, when you joined as a board member?
I would say no, only because when y'all kind of told me your vision, I didn't really know what to expect. Really, this is my first nonprofit that I've ever helped out with, ever volunteered with. I've done a couple hours with Habitat, so really that was my only exposure. I think what y'all have done out here has been tremendous, and it can only go up too. I mean, the vision that you and Corey both have, and the passion that y'all have, it can go above and beyond what people can imagine.
Thanks. So nice.
But yeah, I enjoyed coming out here. I mean, I'm a big dog person, and I have two myself, like I said earlier, and just coming out here is kind of like a step away from reality.
Yeah, I can see that.
People can come out here, be themselves, and just interact with the dogs as much as you want. I mean, there's so much to do out here.
Yeah. It's not about, like, that's what I tell a lot of people is, like, people don't understand just the value of literally just spending time with them. Like, engaging with them means so much to them and to us, of course, but because we can't spend 24/7 over there, which is, I mean, that's ideally what I'd want, is somebody to be out there 24/7, but it just isn't possible. So just that engagement. And I think, honestly, it helps build their character, having new people and different people going out there, engaging with them. I think we're also, like, training them in a sense.
Absolutely.
So I think that's pretty cool. Have you done anything that you didn't expect you were going to have to do out here?
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, with me coming in, I wanted to have an open mindset.
Yeah.
Like I said, I enjoy coming out here. I will do anything that we need to do out here. And it's almost like you look back at the end of your day that you spend out at Scarlet Oak Farms, and it's like, if you do work that day, it's not like you're working, because you're always interacting with the dog. So it's like,
yeah, they're always around. Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
And I wouldn't even call it work. It's just you're volunteering to come out and just do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable because you're always interacting with a dog and other volunteers too.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it'll be, once we can kind of gear where COVID is heading.
Oh, dear Lord, yeah.
And the more and more volunteers that we can get out here in a safe manner, it'll be great.
I think you're right. I think that's good. Well, thanks, y'all. Thanks, Austin, for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited to start this new series, and we can also get some other board members and other volunteers on. So it'll be good to get the perspective of everyone involved.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of see it from their view.
Well, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, Austin, thank you for stopping in, hopping on the video. Give us a look from your perspective of what Scarlet Oak Farm means to you. And thank you guys listening. You know, we couldn't do this without you guys, especially if you guys are watching or listening right now. Share it. Tell somebody. Let people know what we're doing. Let people know what you guys enjoy about what you guys are watching. And most importantly, you know, if you are watching right now, please, you know, we're trying to do this for you guys. We had a few people reach out and say they'd like to see the inside, especially with COVID. You know, we were right in the midst of trying to open up our doors so people could see more, so we could learn more, get a different perspective on, you know, how we could possibly even take better care of the animals. And now that we're doing this, you know, it's just an easier way to give you guys access on the inside. So, you know, we didn't really expect to do this virtually, but we feel like it's really giving you guys an extra layer of what Scarlet Oak Farms is on the inside. And it's also adding value to Patreon. You know, we got to drop it right now. We're doing a big push right now on Patreon. Even $1 gives you access to all these new videos we're going to be dropping. Right now, we're in the works. We're already doing once every other week. We're dropping a video. So this is our official third video, but our first video was a hype video. So this is kind of our second video. But let everybody know, if you're watching this, you have access to Patreon, obviously, but let your friends know, let your family know, let animal lovers know. Even $1 gives them access to all the videos we're going to be dropping. We just felt like that was one added value that we could give you guys to Patreon. Obviously, you guys are supporting us, which we greatly appreciate, but we didn't want to just grab the money and say thank you. We wanted to add value. And for those of you guys who are doing it at a distance, we wanted to show you what your money is going towards. We're in it day in and day out, but just an easy way for you guys to see what we're doing. So that being said, if you are watching these videos, please, we're asking, we're begging, let us make them better for you. So we're at the point right now, we're trying to do Q&As once a month. We're bringing in guests once a month. We're in the works of possibly doing 2 more videos a month. That's just potentially, haven't guaranteed that yet. But, we're thinking about maybe fireside chats with, some of the consistent board members who are here at least once a week. And then possibly even doing some maybe fun little current events with animals that are going on right now. But what would you guys like to see? What are some more questions that you guys have in terms of, maybe how we started? What's the backstory of me and Jordan? What's the backstory of me? What's the backstory of Jordan individually? How did we get started? How did we meet? What was our first dog? What's our favorite dog? Ask away. We come up with our own questions. We add more questions that we think you guys might be interested in hearing, but we want to give you guys what you're asking for. So please submit them on Patreon, submit them on Instagram. Follow us right now. Instagram link right here. Follow us on Patreon. Like, subscribe on YouTube. Tell your friends. Don't forget, even $1 on Patreon gets you access to all these videos. So thank you. And we hope you come back. We hope to continuously see you, and we hope to give you what you guys are asking for. So thank you guys. Keep following along on Scarlet Oak Farms. Check out the new swag and check out the webpage. Appreciate you guys.